Hello, everyone. Welcome to TI Digital, your guide to all that's happening in the Indian Premier League. Beyond the Boundaries, the name of the show. We've got Nitin Naik, who joins us from Mumbai. Also joining us from Mumbai is Gaurav Gupta. And we'll get kick started. Nitin, last night LSG lost the game, and it was the same old story post match where we saw Sanjiv Goenka getting into an argument, or the owner of Lucknow Super Giants, he could well be having a normal conversation, but it might seem like an argument or like a dressing down of sorts to Rishabh Pant. And you also had the director of their cricket, global director of cricket and head coach Justin Langer over there, Tom Moody and Justin Langer. I was wondering where Kane Williamson was as strategic advisor. Is it getting a bit out of hand in your view?
The visuals did not look great. I mean, it's since we care so much about optics here, I don't think the visuals really look great. If at all a conversation, even a hard conversation, was to be had, it could very well be had inside the dressing room, off camera. Why have everything when you know that there are so many cameras, even post an IPL game, constantly filming and looking for content? Why have such a robust discussion also with the captain? It didn't look very pleasant. It didn't make for a great look. Um, let's assume that the words were harsh. I do not know if they were, but let's assume that they were harsh, or they were insulting towards Rishabh Pant, like it happened with KL Rahul in 2024. Um, I would like to just take a rewind button, press the rewind button, and want to ask what happened to the association that was formed in 2002 called IPCA or ICPA, whatever it was called,
No,
under
it's now
Arun.
called ICA. It's now called
ICA, yeah,
ICA.
yeah. I do
No,
not know
it's
whether how
uh, uh,
robust that body is,
so
whether
it
it's
was
still,
formed. Just to let everybody know, it was formed as per the Lodha Commission
yeah,
report,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
is it is robust in the sense that they get money from the BCCI. Their
yeah,
two representatives are on the IPL governing council, two are on the WPL
yeah,
governing council, two are on the BCCI Apex council. So it is
yeah.
limited to
So
that. They have regular meetings, regular elections, but some of the big players in the country are not part of the ICA.
correct. So isn't a players' association then supposed to look after things like these? That their players have to be treated with respect. The owners can't speak like this. I mean, we've had obviously that incident was denied between Preeti Zinta and Sanjay Bangar in 2016 when I think Kings 11 lost by 1 run to Bengaluru, and she charged towards the dugout and complained about bad batting order. Uh, in this case, also, I think if you are a fan of LSG, I think you would question why Rishabh Pant opened and why did he separate a very successful opening partnership between Markram and Mitchell Marsh last year. Also made Nicholas Puran bat out of position beyond even Ayush Badoni. I mean, that is really, really dumb tactics. So he has reasons to be angry, but then that anger can be, that steam can be let off in a more dignified manner.
And it was the first match of the season.
It was the first match of the season. Yeah.
Gigi, what did you make of what happened last night?
Yeah, I have a bit of access to Mr. Goenka, and like it happened last time, I sent him the this thing, whatever was happening on social media, and he was himself quite surprised about it. Obviously that was all off the recording, will not speak about it, but it's clearly a case of somebody being misunderstood. These are just normal. I mean, just as Shami ne bola, somebody who's put money will tend to be a bit passionate. Maybe sort of, as Nitin said, the discussions in public, they tend to give a wrong picture. They tend to convey that as if everything is wrong and there's some serious rebuke happening here, which may not be the case. It's just it's kind of a brainstorming thing, which is perhaps, with his actions, it appears as if he, was cold kar rahe hain Pant ko, ya he's sort of. But I really don't think so. That he's that sort of a man who's sort of, after every game is, and this is the first match of the season, so logic doesn't sit with me. Suddenly after the first match he'll start going after his coaches and the captain. I don't think that's the case. In fact, sort of complimented him for having a decent pace attack this time around, and he was happy about it because Prince Yadav seems to be coming along well. Looks like a very decent prospect. So थोड़ा सा I think visuals से थोड़ा misunderstand होने वाली situation हो रही है वहां पर. And जहां तक players association की बात है, the problem with ICA is it's become a former players association. It has absolutely nothing to do with the current set of players who are playing in the Indian team. So वो थोड़ा सा mismatch है. I mean, it was not the whole idea of FICA and all is not to cater to former cricketers. It is to cater to the present day cricketers, those who are presently playing in the Indian in international cricket. So or in club cricket, franchisee cricket, wheresoever. यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा वो बिल्कुल concept ही उसको तोड़ मरोड़ के और उसको former players का बना दिया, which was never the idea. But India में current players will never have a association because the BCCI will never like a trade union kind of an approach here. Wherein the current players form an association and ask for their rights or a say in scheduling and all that. वो यार नहीं होने वाला है. So like that, but I think this is a case of slightly visuals giving us a wrong, picture without a proper context, which tends to happen in the day and age of social media.
Dwaipan, welcome to the show. Just wanted to understand your view on what you thought about what happened with Sanjiv Goenka post the game with Rishabh Pant, the global director of cricket of Super Giants, and their head coach Justin Langer. Did you find it odd?
See, the oddity starts from somewhere else. The oddity starts from the fact that a player who is out of form gets paid 25 crore to play for a franchisee. So everything is odd. So when and Sanjeev Goenka, and I didn't see anything harsh there. Like he's the owner. He has put in incredible amount of money for the team. It's a 1.5 month tournament. They have lost the match badly. He's having a conversation with with his coach and captain. We do not have the contents of the conversation, so you don't know what it is. But uh, when the culture of IPL is like this, where you are paid this much of money for not really performing. Rishabh Pant has been doing nothing in IPL for the last 1.5 years, but he's getting to 25 crores. So there will be the odd backlash. I think I'm not in favor of Sanjeev Goenka being high-handed, but it is going to be like this because the remunerations, the money, the glamour, everything that you are getting, that is also disproportionate.
Nitin, there's a question for you, super chat. Nitin sir, how do you rate Mohsin Khan's return? Really pleased for him. Has gone through so much at his prime. Really talented player. I hope he stays fit.
Yeah, I hope so too. He stays fit. He has all the requisites to be a good left arm pacer, but sadly, again, he seems to be getting fit only nearer the IPL. I would like to see him play a bunch of red ball cricket games, a bit longer cricket than just T20 cricket. Maybe go on a couple of 8 overs, bowl in maybe English conditions or New Zealand conditions if we have a shadow tour going there, and then really look to impress because we really need a pace bowling backup. Um, the, the the second rung of pace bowling backup needs to start making its presence felt because Siraj and Bumrah may not be around forever. We probably will have them for another 2 or 3 years more, firing on all cylinders for the next 2 or 3 years. I think the second rung of pace bowlers need to come through. So yeah, he looked again very impressive, but I really hope that he plays a bunch of red ball matches without breaking down.
Yeah, I think he had a surgery last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He
Uh,
did. He did.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's unfortunate that he missed out. A couple of years
Yeah.
ago, they spoke very highly about him, almost
Yeah.
making the
Yeah. Yeah.
T20 debut. Uh, Gigi, there is a question for you from Seven. He says, Gigi sir, ये इतना बड़ा स्टेडियम बना तो लेते हैं. It feels like local crowds में अभी इतना cricketing culture develop नहीं हुआ है. एकाना cricketing view experience live on TV is so dull and dead. He's talking about the stadium in Lucknow.
Yeah, but that is a problem with a lot of these stadiums who are, which are very big and that character is not there. Somehow, जो वानखेड़े या ईडन गार्डन्स में एक character आता है स्टेडियम का, I think even the नरेंद्र मोदी स्टेडियम में वो नहीं आ पा रहा है. वो तो so वो है problem, but अब ठीक है मतलब I mean stadium infrastructure will improve. Now today we have news coming in that Mumbai is going, MCA is going for a big 1 lakh capacity stadium near the airport, the new Navi Mumbai airport. So I mean, it will never have the same character of Wankhede, right? But time moves on, and I mean, at least Lucknow has a decent stadium. I was happy that Lucknow में match हो गया ठीक से, because last time remember that whole fog thing happened in the winter, and India South Africa
Smog,
T20
smog. Yeah, smog, smog.
smog fog दोनों. तो
December.
India South Africa T20 था ना, which got
Yeah.
Yeah.
completely fogged out or smogged out, whatever. So at least match हुआ वहाँ पर. So like that, but it's a typical venue. But ठीक है, I mean it's at least UP has a decent cricket venue. Other than that तो कुछ है नहीं. So and it's a home venue for, I mean there's an IPL team of UP, so there's a lot of cricket fans there. तो अब स्टेडियम व्यूइंग एक्सपीरियंस इंडिया में कहीं भी अच्छा नहीं है ऑनेस्टली. बहुत कम वेन्यूज हैं जहाँ पर कि शायद डिसेंट होएगा. That is how it is. I mean, it can get better, no doubt. In fact, my media friends were saying that they had a bad time in Lucknow a few years back. थोड़ा problem आया था उनको, and they could not even get proper dinner because there were too many cops around and near the press box, and वो सब problems आया था. But let's hope that things improve there. Let's hope that.
There's one more question for you. This is from Seven. He says, "This is a nobody asked him to repeat himself. I'm passionate for cricket. I spent 7,000 crores, and I'll bash my captain of the team."
नहीं, nobody is, अरे वो bash कर रहे हैं, वो कैसे पता है यार? अभी how can I eavesdrop near your department in an office and just imagine कि fight हो रही है? It could be just be a normal people talking, and maybe he's too passionate. His hand gestures, the way he talks comes across as if जैसे वो डांट रहे हैं या वो चिल्ला रहे हैं. That may not be. Let's not assume. Why are we just assuming that he's been screaming at Pant or so on and so forth? ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं है. I mean, it could be the other way around also. It could just be a normal conversation, which is allowed to have here as a team owner. इतना भी क्या मतलब, he's there at the ground, match हुआ, and
पैसा
there could be
पैसा लगाया बेचारे ने.
now see, there are different ways of, the problem is because a Srinivasan does not interfere or does not sort of get involved in team this thing. Manoj Badale we don't see, maybe Preeti Zinta is passionate. So for every individual it's a different way to how they react after owning an IPL team. We've got new IPL team owners. How we don't know how they're going to react to losses and to wins and to generally running a team. So I mean, everybody cannot be in the same. The Ambanis, they have a special sofa where they sit and they watch the match. So that again, that cannot be held against them. They have a different way of sort of following their team. So सबका अपना एक तरीका है, as long as it doesn't get too rude and harsh. And then last time जो हुआ with KL Rahul, I think he must have learnt his lessons, and I mean, you can just assume यार दूर से देख के. And even after that incident, he invited KL for dinner the next day itself. And so on and so forth. So we don't know exactly उसमें क्या हुआ. Nobody has spoken about it much about that incident. So these things are very.
Okay, there's one more question for you, Cristiano Ronaldo. Gigi, sorry, I'm asking one more question. Mumbai building a new stadium. What is the use when the final will be hosted in Ahmedabad?
नहीं, अभी तो बहुत टाइम तक आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट ही नहीं अपने पास में है, तो क्या होस्ट कर फाइनल, मतलब आईपीएल ही होएगा.
29.
आईपीएल का तो
29.
चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी,
हाँ
29 चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी. हाँ, तो वो देखेंगे तब का तब यार. अभी तब तक तो स्टेडियम ये भी बनेगा कि नहीं बनेगा. इट विल टेक टाइम, इट विल टेक टाइम. अहमदाबाद स्टेडियम आल्सो टुक अ लॉन्ग टाइम टू बी बिल्ट. इट विल टेक टाइम फॉर दिस स्टेडियम टू बी बिल्ट. ये बनेगा, फिर उसके बाद होगा. तो द थिंग इज, मुंबई हैज नीडेड अ लार्जर कैपेसिटी स्टेडियम फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. That problem has been there. 30, 40,000, 30, 40,000 been here. This is the 33,000. So Wankhede. So that need for a bigger capacity stadium तो मैं बहुत टाइम से जब से मैं मुंबई में आया 2006 में तब से मैं सुन रहा हूँ. And in fact मुंबई MCA when it bought that land, it acquired that land in BKC, the whole idea I was told by the old MC officials was that यहाँ पर उनका स्टेडियम बनेगा बीकेसी में, the alternate stadium to Wankhede stadium, the bigger stadium. But unfortunately क्या हुआ कि they could not get a bigger land parcel. So Mr. Pawar said कि ये जो land parcel है इसमें तुम एक फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट के लिए ग्राउंड बनाओ एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली एक इंडोर अकेडमी बनाओ. So because he had seen that in Australia, and that is how that indoor academy was launched, and and everybody benefited from it. I think it was one of the first in India, perhaps the first in India. So like that. So uh, actually things, and all stadiums are far away from the all modern day stadiums are far away from the. I have covered a lot of these. मैंने बहुत सारे स्टेडियम करीबन काटे हैं, मतलब जाके पहला मैच कवर किया है ग्वालियर यहाँ वहाँ सब जगह दूर ही है स्टेडियम्स, नए स्टेडियम्स जो पर you will not get that much of land in the these days.
Okay. Didi, there's a question. Super chat. Will SRH cross if they bat first? Nitin sir, cross 300. Cross 300.
Cross
Cross
300
300.
must
Yeah.
be 300 is the operating word.
Yeah, I mean, I think both bowling attacks are very poor, yeah, Chandresh. Both bowling attacks are very poor, and it's a free for all actually, and it's such a big chasing ground, the Eden Gardens, that I really fear for the bowlers. I'm very disappointed with the way both how Varun Chakravarti has not yet been able to crack what is ailing him. For now, it's been a pattern now for 6 games in a row. I think there's something seriously wrong. Maybe he needs to watch a few of his old videos. What because he's that mystery element I think is slightly waned, and he's now been figured out by players, and he has been attacked. So yeah, I mean, if SRH bat first 300, I don't know, but will they be able to defend 300 with their bowling attack?
Okay. Didi, there are a few questions for you as well. मानिक प्रीत सिंह से डीडी सर थला प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं क्या, वो अब कल वाला मैच खेलेंगे, और ब्रेविस का क्या अपडेट है?
They have Ruturaj Gaikwad said in the press conference that a decision will be taken
What?
on the 13th day.
Oh,
Did he?
Rituraj came with the PC, not Fleming. Is Fleming okay?
Yeah, so Ruturaj Gaikwad said that the
Sorry,
decision
signs of
will be
change.
taken on the 13th day.
Signs of change.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's the thing.
Okay.
We're not playing this game.
Not playing. Okay. Cristiano Ronaldo has a question. Has any player dragged their boat to court in the past? 2 cases, Shamsi and now Tushara. There have been multiple cases in the past where Nathan Bracken dragged Cricket Australia saying that you spoiled my career by making me a ball when I was not fit and all. But what happened with Tushara, Dwapan is quite interesting because Sri Lankan board is also like coming down hard on their players.
Okay, what has happened? I have not been following
So
this.
Tushara has taken Sri Lankan board to court saying that please ask the Sri Lankan board to issue my NOC. I am no longer contracted with Sri Lankan board. I have no interest in playing for Sri Lanka. And Sri Lankan board has also said we have no interest in picking him. So then why am I not being given NOC now? Same thing
Right.
Shamsi did against Cricket South Africa because they were not giving him NOC for Big Bash League. He went to court. He won the case.
Okay. Yeah. These things will happen more and more with franchisee leagues coming in. So, like, and especially for countries like these where the players do not earn like ridiculous amounts of money, where they have to play an enough amount of cricket to make a good living. So this is going to happen. This is par for the course. If the if this is how cricket is going to be run, this is par for the course. Barring India, every country will face this.
Okay. Seven says, Didi sir, when you smile, you have 100% inside use. क्या बात है
About
जो
what?
छुपा रहे हो? तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या बात है जो छुपा रहे हो? गम नहीं.
उसका अगला वाला लाइन क्या है?
Nitin probably know.
क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो.
क्या गम है जिसे छुपा रहे हो? हाँ, वही वही क्या गम है.
गम ही गम है सीएसके को. डेवल ब्रेविस में नहीं फिट है ना?
हाँ नहीं.
नहीं नहीं
Never
नहीं
will be.
नहीं. First 2 matches is not.
Oh.
Okay, Nitin, what's the update on Shreyas Iyer? He finds different ways to get
No,
injured
he's
now.
fit. He's fit. The question was asked in the press conference. He's fit. At least that's what. Unless the coach is lying, he's fit.
Okay, Pranav Sonje says Gum Thalaki retirement. Okay. Guddu has a question for you, not Shahrukh, but Guddu Das. Nitin, why
हाँ.
Virat hated so much by journalists? Is it just for views or any other issue?
No, I don't think he's hated. Who? Why does he feel that he's hated by the journalists?
I
I
don't know.
uh, I
There's a
mean, there is
perception on social media that journalists hate Virat Kohli.
no. I mean, I think that there was a phase where he had a difficult time with the media. I think the Dwiper, I think, will testify to that. He had a bit of an angry phase um, uh, when in 2016 or 2017 when he launched his own app or own website. Also, I think some viewer said that you're not my favorite batsman. Then he asked him to go and live in some other country, and he also praised demonetization and said it's one of the greatest things to happen in India. Then he had that verbal joust with Vaipan in at the Oval in London. So, and he has his ways. He used to have that relationship, or probably he carried that attitude that me against the world. But now I think he's at peace with himself, and look at the way he's been batting. So I don't think the journalists are against Virat, and nor is Virat against any. If you actually look at him now and the way he's speaking with the media and he's posing for selfies with the fans, I think he's in a place that is blissful, is wonderful, and I think that is reflecting in his game.
Okay. Gaurav, there is a question for you from Manik Prit Singh. Gigi sir, playoffs venue announced नहीं हुआ है. फाइनल चिन्नस्वामी में होगा या फिर से अहमदाबाद?
नहीं, अभी तो चिन्ना स्वामी हो जाना चाहिए. सी, अहमदाबाद में लास्ट ईयर मजबूरी में हुआ बिकॉज ऑफ द होल हॉल्ट दैट हैपेंड ड्यू टू द वॉर एंड एवरीथिंग. सो उसके बाद में नेक्स्ट बेस्ट ऑप्शन कलकत्ता से इसलिए मूव किया उस टाइम पे कोलकाता से बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट द वेदर प्रेडिक्शन वाज वेरी बैड. And I was speaking to the BCA secretary. I remember last time, and he was very clear. He said, "Ki Gaurav, it was Kolkata was actually very bad. I mean, it rained even on the reserve day, the supposed to be the reserve day. So, अगर final वहाँ originally जैसा schedule था होता, तो then 100% it would have been a washout. And Ahmedabad भी rain affected हुआ, but match हो गया. So like that. So it was a bit of a majburi. This time I think Chinnaswamy should host it. I mean, they've successfully hosted the first match. They're hosting the remaining RCB matches as well. 5 matches तो हैं RCB के, 4 और रह गए मेरे ख्याल से, 2 तो रायपुर में होंगे. So I think they're on track to host the final. And I really wish that Chinnaswamy hosts the final. Venkatesh Prasad has done a tremendous job, a lovely job with the KSCA. He has proved that former cricketers, when they come into administration, that they can make a difference and they can, run the game well. There's a perception that former cricketers may not be able to be good administrators, but I think Venki is doing a fabulous job there. I just read Manuja's report today that they've also announced some gratis for former women cricketers who played first class cricket. I was very happy about that. And the way they remembered the victims of the tragedy, they were sensitive about it, the Stampede tragedy victims and all that. So they've been doing some good work there, renaming stands after good cricketers, renaming a stand after Sunil Joshi at Hubali. So some of the things that Venki has been doing have been pretty good.
Okay. Now, there's one more question, Gigi. This is from Seven. He says, out of contest question, with 2 month IPL going on, it's vacation for the head coach, or does he go to COE?
I think the head coach will chill out. He was in Singapore recently, I think, for a vacation, and he will basically chill out. Might go for a few matches. Selectors will go for a few matches, but this is essentially a time when all our coaches, because they are not allowed to do anything else, so they generally chill out. And because he's got a very hectic season after that. In fact, I pity for him because June onwards, India are going to be playing like anything. अब जिम्बाब्वे भी डाल दिया कल तो जो आप लोग परसों बात कर रहे थे वो कल ऑफिशियली अनाउंस हो गया. So now imagine the amount of countries that the coach and the support staff will travel to and keep, being with the Indian team. In fact, at some stage, I fear that the support staff might also want a break, like it happened during Rahul Dravid's tenure, when I think the support staff did not go to New Zealand after the T20 World Cup, which created a bit
Even,
controversy.
even Ravi Shastri's time also. Ravi Shastri did travel to a few countries,
Shastri
Zimbabwe.
traveled everywhere. Shastri traveled
No,
everywhere.
no,
In fact, Shastri
he, did,
had actually
he didn't travel to
criticized Dravid.
Zimbabwe. No, no, he
Sorry?
didn't travel to Zimbabwe.
वो एकादा वो होएगा, but he traveled everywhere. In fact, he was critical of Rahul Dravid when Dravid didn't turn up in New Zealand after the T20 World Cup in 22, because he was like, he has to be here. What is he doing? I mean, not being here, and he has to. The rebuilding has to start. Then the head coach has to be there, which he was completely right about. I thought, because the head coach does get a break in these couple of months. It's a very hectic job, because June, July onwards, a lot of cricket from June onwards. A lot of T20 cricket, and then अगस्त से फिर टेस्ट भी शुरू हो जाएगा.
Subhankar Mishra has a question. Didi sir, is there any possibility of Fleming leaving CSK? Please answer.
Not that I have heard of as yet. Like, uh, I haven't heard anything on those lines as yet that he is leaving, or and changes do not happen like that in CSK. Fleming is as much a part of this CSK setup as anybody else. Like, he has been there from 2008. 2008 he was a player, and from 2009 he has been the coach. And they do not sack people like that. Uh, People as loyal as Fleming, who has given up opportunities to coach the Indian team just to be part of CSK. So uh, I haven't heard anything on those lines. I think he won't ever be sacked. If he decides that he has had enough and he doesn't want to continue, then he will not continue. But I really doubt if Stephen Fleming ever be sacked by CSK. It doesn't happen like that in Chennai Super Kings.
Okay. Nitin Arvind Atreya says, Nitin sir, because KL Rahul is soft, he is reacting like this. Had there been any other player, they would have created a lot of scene. They don't post anything when he does well for Indian team, but will be waiting for
Yeah,
opportunity to downgrade him for poor behavior. To
yeah,
downgrade him. So
that was a bit childish from the admin, I think, of the Delhi
that
Capitals
what was that?
yesterday.
I didn't get that. What happened? That
No,
oh,
no. Delhi Capitals had posted a reel of KL Rahul walking the steps at the Ekana, and then the LSG admin or the LSG content team, they posted an image of the same steps without KL Rahul, and then they said, "If you know, you know." They had posted, and then. Delhi Capitals again posted a picture of those steps with the head-to-head record of the last 5 games. The last 5 games, I think, is 5-0 in favor of DC. So, and then they said with a caption saying, "We know." So, so I think it's just childish on behalf of the LSG because they started it first. So I feel that the content team or the admin, should behave like adults, and he's been a captain who's taken them to two playoffs. So they should respect that fact. Because in 2022 and 23, I think they made the playoffs under KL Rahul. So they just need to get their batting order, properly. You can't separate Markram and Mitchell Marsh and make Nicholas Puran bat at number 5 and number 6 after Ayush Badoni. I mean, that is just. I mean, Nicholas Puran made 530 runs last year at a strike rate of 190. So, I mean, if you're making him bat and the justification that Rishabh Pant gave yesterday uh, was ridiculous. That I got out, so we did not have a left-hander to attack Akshar Patel. I mean, come on,
Okay, just news coming in from Eden Gardens. KKR have won the toss and elected to field. KKR are fielding an unchanged squad for today, and Rahane is fit to play the contest. Yogesh Singh has a question or a comment. Gigi, सुपर जायंट्स में धोनी के साथ लखनऊ में राहुल और पंत के साथ ये गोयनका का रवैया निंदनीय है। हम इसकी कड़े शब्दों में आलोचना करते हैं। टीम में सारे धुरंधर है, विलियमसन, मार्करम, मार्श, इनको ये विकेट क्रिकेट सिखाएंगे।
पहली बात तो कोचिंग स्टाफ में बहुत सारे धुरंधर हैं। ये धुरंधर थोड़े कम होने चाहिए बिकॉज द प्लेयर्स विल गेट कंफ्यूज। विलियमसन कुछ इधर कह रहे हैं, इधर जस्टिन लैंगर कह रहे हैं। जस्टिन लैंगर की अकाउंटेबिलिटी क्या है? 3-4 साल हो गए आए हुए, उनको परफॉर्मेंस किधर है? ठीक है। एंड इफ यू गॉट अ विलियमसन एंड अ टॉम मूडी, आई कांट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई कांट आइदर ऑफ देम जस्ट बिकम अ कोच, द हेड कोच, एंड द अदर गाय
जी,
मेंटर।
व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय स्ट्रेटेजिक एडवाइजर?
समझ नहीं आया मेरे को। इट्स अ बेटर हेड कोच बना दो ना। हु इज द स्ट्रेटेजिक एडवाइजर? विलियमसन।
विलियमसन
तो
and
हेड कोच बना
Tom
दो,
Moody is
रिटायर हो
global
गया
director
तो।
of cricket, so he's
टॉम
director of
मूडी,
cricket for all the
हाँ,
franchise.
वो अदर फ्रेंचाइज चलो ठीक है, टॉम मूडी का रोल थोड़ा समझ में आता है, बट आई थिंक लैंगर का अकाउंटेबिलिटी होना चाहिए था। मे बी दे कुड हैव ट्राइड केन विलियमसन, फ्रेश आइडियाज, has played a lot of T20 cricket in his life, unlike Langer, and might prove to be a good coach actually. I thought Williamson captained SRH brilliantly. Took the best out of Umran Malik, and that whole phase of SRH when he was the captain was pretty good. So I mean, as New Zealand captain, we know what he's achieved. So he could have been tried as a coach by LSG this time, with a completely fresh approach. तो थोड़ा ज्यादा टू मेनी पीपल, मतलब इसको भी ले लूं उसको भी ले लूं, जस्ट हैव ब्रांड नेम्स ऑल ओवर।
And
आई
I
डोंट
think
नो।
Klusner is also there.
क्लूजनर भी है, तो मतलब वो थोड़ा सा,
Bharat भी है.
इट्स लाइक हाउ भरत अरुण है। भरत अरुण could have been the head coach. Bharat Arun has been a India under-19 head coach. He has been bowling coach of several franchises, KKR and all. Has been India bowling coach. Bharat Arun could have been the head coach of the side, and you give him a good run. So I mean, too many heads there, too many talking heads.
just for the
Chandresh,
record.
you have been part of an IPL team, so you please tell me. So these many coaches, what do they do? Like, I am very keen to know from you
So
because
basically,
you are the only one who knows.
so basically, basically after the first 10 days, the tournament is on autopilot. You're either traveling or you're resting, and there are optional sessions. That's it. So the coaches are basically there if, in case a player wants to go and talk to the coach, sit with the analyst, help the coach with strategizing. That's basically the main thing. But I agree that there are far too many coaches right now with Lucknow. I can see that with other teams also. There are multiple coaches. Like I can't believe the number of coaches that Sunrisers Hyderabad doesn't list any of their coaches' names on the website. But if you look at the other teams, it's kind of strange what is happening. Look at KKR. They've got Abhishek Nair, Shane Watson. Uh, there is Dwayne Bravo, Tim Saudi. I'm missing a few names here and there. Like it's after a point of time, the tournament is on
Is it
autopilot.
a
They're not
case of
training.
maybe the no? I'm saying, is it a case of like the foreign players go to a foreign bowling coach, the Indian bowlers go to the Indian bowling coach, some go to
No,
like the same with
up,
batters, and then there is a
no.
head coach. Is it
So
like that?
no, not really, not really. If they so like if it was Rahul Dravid who was the mentor of Delhi Daredevils as it was, and then there was also Paddy Upton as head coach. There was Zubin Barucha. There are a few others in the setup at that time. And when Ricky Ponting came, it was different. When Gary Kirsten was there, it was different. It is just that it is division of labor because you're looking at 25 players plus all the squads also carry net bowlers. And apart from that, when you're at a home base, you have a local guy attached to the team as like a assistant coach who gathers all the net bowlers, and the head coach and the bowling coach gives a list of players that they want. Say suppose they find that there is Mohsin Khan in the rival camp, so if they are in Lucknow, or if they are in what's say RCB, for example, Bengaluru. They want a bowler like Bhuvi. So they will send out a message through their assistant coach to get somebody who's like Bhuvi, who will be on and off around the off stump kind of a thing. So basically, the actual nuts and bolts is done by the the assistant coach who's at the lowest in the pecking order, and then there are other coaches who can deal with, say, some uncapped players who may not necessarily speak. If it is Ponting, the the local player may not have the ability to communicate with Ponting, so you have that local coach who may act as a
Bridge.
interpreter. Or if it's somebody from, say, Tamil Nadu, for example, we had Sridhar and Sriram, for example. He could speak Tamil as a interpreter with the player, and then speak to Ponting also. This is what he's thinking. This is his mindset. So the head coach is leaning on these assistant coaches to understand the mindset of the players. Also, because there are 25 players that he has to deal with after a point of time. But after a point of time, like I said, the tournament is on autopilot. The first 10-15 days, you will have training session, rigorous training session. After that, there will be no time for anything. They'll say just rest. The players are just resting in their rooms, or all the foreign players and coaches are going out and playing golf. That is the only thing that is happening. So it is
जो
rest and
रियल
relax.
जो रियल काम है वो तो ऑफ सीजन में होता होगा ना, द रियल वर्क विद द प्लेयर।
Yeah, and most of the international players don't necessarily need work to be done during the season unless there is some glaring error that has come up. I remember 2015, Travis had knew in advance that he's not going to play anything. So he would not travel to other cities. He would stay back in Delhi, go to Kotla, arrange a coach, a few local spinners, and practice. And today, see what has happened. So my thing is that I'm requesting whoever those coaches and spinners are, find them, penalize them, and charge them extra TDS next time you find them for whatever they have done to India through Travis Head. Uh, Kunal has a question for you, Didi. What's the future of KL Rahul in IPL?
He has a perfectly good future in franchisee cricket. He has no future in international cricket.
International T20, you know.
International T20, that is what. Yeah, international T20 cricket. Yeah.
I can already hear Sunil Shetty in the background when you say he has no future in international.
International T20 cricket, of course. Like it is, we are talking about T20s here. Yeah.
Okay. So Seven also says there is. I forgot. There is also a power coach with KKR, Andre Russell, who's looking like he wants to step out with the bat, especially when Rahane is batting. Okay,
एंड अंकिश
Cristiano.
रघुवंशी
Huh?
एंड अंकिश रघुवंशी दैट
I'm,
पार्टनरशिप
I'm
हो गया ना।
wondering how Raghuvanshi will have a physique like uh, your Russell to be so powerful. Like the power of Russell had nothing to do with like batting. It had everything to do
रघुवंशी का
with his body.
च्युइंगम चबाने का स्टाइल तो पूरा बेवरेज सेट्स के आते रहता है।
Raghuvanshi batting like learning power from Russell will be quite funny.
Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo says, Nitin, look at GT, Hayden, Nera, Vikram, Daya, Parthiv Patel.
Hmm.
It's comparatively
Yeah.
leaner. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, as you only said that they all break down individual roles and then assign those roles. I think Dhoni, I think, said something very interesting about how he deals with players in the franchise. He said that when the bowlers meeting is on, he does not even attend the bowlers meeting. It's just the bowling coaches and the bowlers that attend the meeting. He just attends the meetings with the batters and the captain. So I think that's the way roles are divided. Just one bit about Langer's credentials. He's a T20 World Cup winning coach. Under him, Australia won the T20 World Cup for the first time in 2021. I think he's also a 3 or 4 time BBL winning coach for Perth Scorchers. So he is, he's one of the most sought after names in terms of coaches. It's just that I do not know how much of an input or a resistance he put forward when Rishabh Pant obviously made that choice that he would be opening the batting. Uh, Clearly,
He
here
wanted to open
it's.
last year as well.
I'm sorry.
I believe Pant wanted to open last year as well.
Yeah, I think that's where I think Zach put his foot down. He said that no, I think Markram and he will open, and Puran would bat at three. Now, what has happened is to accommodate one guy in a particular role, you have displaced the other three people, and you have played havoc with the team combination. I think he's a perfect number four batter. What he, what I suspect seems to have happened is he's seeing that the Indian T20 team, which he's no more a part of, is preferring wicket-keeper openers to bat at the top of the order, and I think he's targeting an India recall. You know, in terms of through LSG. I think that is the wrong way to go about things. If he does well at number four, that could also open up a good chance for him because Sky is also on his last legs. So let's. He should not really jeopardize the franchise for his India ambitions.
The seven is echoing your view. Nitin sir, yesterday looking at Rishabh opening, is he too desperate for comeback in the T20I opening by opening? But Puran is the best T20I batsman in the
Yeah,
team. Should
yeah,
bat at
absolutely.
number three.
That's a no-brainer. Puran batting after Badoni. I mean, I was tearing my hair apart. I don't know who was thinking what, or was anybody thinking at all? How can Puran bat after Badoni? And Pant is justifying that in the post-match comments. I mean, that was even more bizarre.
Pranav Sonjay says to open with Pant was Moody's decision. So then,
Then
what
it
is
was a
lying
bad
there?
one. Yeah, it was a bad one.
Okay, DD, there is a question for you from Manik Preet Singh. DD sir, CSK इतनी selfless team क्यों है? वो entire environment के बारे में इतना क्यों सोचती है? This is because they play a lot of dot balls.
Achha.
Oh, acha, 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 acha. Good question, acha, acha.
Good question, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think
I mean,
Shivam Dubey thinks about the environment.
Ha, Shivam Dube, and this time they are trying not to think about the environment too much. At least that's how they have built their team. Whether they end up thinking about the environment, we will see. But right now, their thought process is to be slightly more to not think about the environment. That you can see, but that happened because of that Dhoni way of cricket. Okay, you be alive till the 17th over and do everything at the back end. 3 overs, 40 runs, 6 wickets in hand, we will win. That was the Dhoni way of playing cricket, having wickets in hand at the end, which kind of went out of fashion in the last couple of years. So that's why it has become quite a jungle around CSK these days.
Okay, Aru says IPL is meant for to give best chance to Indian players. So let Pant open. Puran can be selfish in CPL. Nitin?
Sorry, but I mean, if I have bought a franchise for 7,000 crores, I mean, I will not. Maybe Goenka then was justified in asking Pant that, hey man, why did you open? Maybe that was the conversation. Maybe Gaurav will be able to, shed more light on that. But but really, I mean, it was a bit silly. I mean, anyone who knows a little bit about T20 cricket and the way they have followed the IPL and Rishabh Pant's T20 career, they would know that he's not an opening batter.
Okay, Aru says they are thinking mainly of Thala's farmhouse in Ranchi. So that's what is happening. Okay, final question to all three of you, starting with you, Gigi. This is the 15th anniversary today of India's World Cup win. So N Singhvi wants to know what are your memories. I want to go around the group, starting with you, Gigi, then Nitin, and finally Didi. What are your memories? Were you all at Wankhede when Dhoni hit that iconic six? I was. Gigi, were you?
I was in the office. I was in the office. I was making the main sports page, the main World Cup page. So I was at the desk. I remember that I thought I will celebrate. I was telling my friends today, I thought I will celebrate and India's victory. So I thought I'll go to a restaurant nearby our Times of India office. It was the most foolish decision I ever made in my life because there was tremendous traffic. और मैं फंस गया वो ट्रैफिक में. Somehow I caught a drop and slept without hungry. But I was very happy that we won the World Cup. And while going home, I remember that there were so many people in open, those open cars, and with the with the flag, displaying the flag proudly and cheering for India, and saying Bharat Mata ki Jai, and cheering the India's victory. And that for me brought so much happiness. I was like, it's almost like we had won a war or something. But it was just, I've never felt more sort of patriotic, and that that kind of zeal that was there in people. It was tremendous to see all the way to my home. What I saw from here to Kandivali, in CST to Kandivali, and I think that was the scene around in all India streets, entire India streets. So that was something fabulous to see, and that will stay with me. The six that Dhoni hit, and then this whole the frenzy that followed.
Okay, there is a suggestion or advice from Aru for you, Gigi. Do not forget the 97, otherwise Gigi, the other Gigi will join the show right away and remind you about it.
He has given
Because
an entire interview on that 97 in 21 when we did a recall piece of the World Cup victory, in which he said that we वही सब चीजें बोली जो अभी 26 World Cup जीत के बोली कि we celebrate miles, individual knocks and individual glory too much, and so on and so forth, और ये वो, so like that.
Nitin,
I was at the Wankhede. I mean, very lucky to be there. I remember you were there too, Chandresh. Firstly, thankful to the ICC media team
thank
throughout,
you,
because
thank
it
you.
was a real struggle to get into. I mean, the second accreditation was a bit of a was proving to be a bit of a task, because the press box was jam packed, and Colin Gibson, Samiul Hassan, Chandresh, and Brian Murgatroyd. I think.
I think James
I,
was also there.
James also. I think I've got all the names right. I think so. I think all of them went out of their way to help everyone. Um, so yeah, I mean, firstly, it started with hectic calls from the office immediately after the toss, that they need a copy on two tosses happening. So I first banged out that copy. Then they said that they want a copy on Zahir Khan's two opening spells in 2003 and 2011. So I finished that, but then they said नहीं नहीं ये copy cancel कर दो because उसका last spell खराब चला गया. So that copy got canned. So I remember writing two or three stories, but all of them did not end up going. So but it was great fun. I mean, I remember I did not get any taxi back home, back to the office from Wankhede, because I had to walk from Churchgate station to back to the office. And I remember we went back home. I think the first edition went at 1:15, and the final edition I think went at around 2:40.
Finally, Didi, your memories.
Uh, I watched the Sri Lanka innings at home, and then at the break, reached office. As I was entering, Sehwag got out. As I was
You mean in
settling
Chennai?
down,
In Chennai?
Chennai. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As I was settling down, Tendulkar got out. I was disgusted with everything at that point, given up all hope. Then things fell into place. Uh, Obviously, had a very long evening. I remember the first edition was finished. I like we finished first edition just as Dhoni hit that winning shot. So yeah, that was one. And after the edition went, we the editor of Chennai, then who is now the editor of Mumbai, he called us home and we partied. So yeah.
Okay. The editor of Mumbai is Mr. Ravi Nair, if I'm not mistaken.
Sunil Nair.
Sunil.
Sunil Nair. Sorry, Sunil Nair. Sunil will get angry because he's been my former colleague as well in Express as well.
Yeah,
So
Express.
get,
Yeah.
he'll get angry with me. Sorry for that. But you again forgot Gigi, the Indian head coach currently. You also forgot Didi. He'll remember. He's watching the show. He's watching the show.
No,
Remember Didi and Gigi?
I remember getting very angry because the shot that he played was a bad shot. So I remember, like, because at that point we were being unable to move. Like, it was those days we were more attached to this Indian team also, and like we are unable to move. And then he played that shot when he got out, and suddenly negative thoughts started creeping in. But then, yeah.
So Aru says, "Thank God India won the World Cup. Else, if something like what happened at Eden Gardens happened, DD sir would have joined them again."
It's so
You were in
funny
'96 as well, right?
Huh?
You were at Eden Gardens in
96.
'96 as well.
No, no, no. 96. I could not manage a ticket. I could not manage a
Thank
ticket in
God.
96, and
Thank God,
because
my
my part one call in college, part one was going on. So yeah, and yeah, I couldn't manage a ticket.
thank God this book came out. Otherwise, this book would also not have come out. Even if you were there that day. Okay. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us today. We'll be back again tomorrow. The start of the game today is about the game is supposed to start in about 5 minutes time. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on all our videos. Press the hype button. Use the super chat to ask questions so that TD can tell you how you can get tickets for all the games in the IPL. And only then he'll let you know. Otherwise, he will not let you know. He's promised us that. And we'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. It's goodbye and God bless from all three of us and Gaurav and the entire backend team.